He's one of the most thoughtful people I've ever met in government that just genuinely cares about not only making the community better, but making sure that we're going about it in a way that our community can resonate with.
Dan is someone who clearly leads from his heart, stands his ground, and someone that truly loves his community like I've seen no other person love the city of Lawrence.
Lawrence has its challenges. They tend to have received lesser resources than other areas around the Commonwealth, certainly relative to the need. When Dan was first elected to office, really, he was the right person at the right time. Dan's leadership has really completely turned Lawrence around.
Perhaps the most profound display of leadership from Mayor Rivera was his leadership during the Columbia gas crisis. It resulted in dozens of structural fires, a handful of home explosions, and the loss of a life. We had to evacuate the entire south side of the city. It was frigid temperatures. People didn't have heat. Mayor Rivera stepped up and led by being with his people. He was staying at the emergency shelters that were set up. He slept on a cot next to residents.
It was a really rocky and crazy few weeks there. Dan brought a level head and a real focus on what needed to get done right away and demonstrated that this guy was a real leader. And frankly, when things weren't working the way they were supposed to, wasn't afraid to speak out and to make that case.
There's so many things that Dan has done in the pursuit of diversity, equity, inclusion, and developing a real sense of belonging in the city of Lawrence and really beyond.
There was always this conversation. How can we make sure that the faces people see at City Hall and in their public safety are faces like theirs and are faces they can identify with and languages they can speak? Mayor Rivera has diversified our police department. For the first time in history, we are a majority-minority police department.
He's really seen it all. He's seen the struggles of so many families. He's seen the struggles of his own family. I think he understands what it's like to be a new immigrant in the city, and I think he has compassion for that.
When I think about this particular recognition in honor of Mayor Carpenter and Brockton, it's so fitting because the two of them are so similar. And certainly one of those ways is getting things done.
Dan Rivera is Lawrence just the way Bill Carpenter was Brockton. Dan walks and works the streets of Lawrence exactly the same way. I think Dan Rivera would be really pleased by this award. And you know what? Bill Carpenter would be really pleased to have a guy like Dan Rivera get it.